An anti-vaccination protest has been dispersed by police in Melbourne. Julia Bradley is live for us. Julia, several people were arrested.
Tanika, several people were arrested here in Melbourne today, but thankfully the anti-vaccination protest was much smaller than what we've seen over recent weeks, with protesters significantly outnumbered by police officers. They were able to move in pretty quickly to disperse the crowd. Initially, the protesters began marching up along the Shrine of Remembrance side of the Royal Botanic Gardens before making their way here to the Yarra River side. Police quickly dispersed that crowd, and then that is pretty much where it all finished up, thankfully. Now, this protest was organised in response to the decision by Victoria's government yesterday to mandate the COVID vaccination for every single essential worker. This is a move that is going to impact more than 1 million people. Everyone from journalists to judges, administrators, athletes, even farmers will be required to get that vaccination if they want to continue working. They'll need to have had their first dose by the 15th of October and their second by the 26th of November. We spoke to one of those protesters who turned up today, and he was also fined by police.
I think it was disgusting. I think they could have done it a whole lot better. All we want to do is negotiate. We want to peacefully march and then negotiate at the end. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I am against this COVID vaccine. I'm not going to sit back and let all of this happen around us and have my child grow up in the society that we are in.
This morning, Victoria's COVID commander, Jerome Weimer, called out the protesters. It's clear that the police continue to take a zero-tolerance approach.
We get the fact that people are frustrated, we get the fact they're upset. You're not helping yourself, you're not helping anybody. And, you know, at best, you're running the risk of generating more transmission. At worst, you know, you're creating, you're fueling a bonfire that's already on fire. I just think it's a really unhelpful thing to do.
Now, these protests come on a day that Victoria has recorded its highest daily amount of coronavirus cases since the beginning of the pandemic. 1,488 infections were picked up in Victoria over the past 24 hours, and 2 more people have died with the virus.
And Julia, more support is on the way for the construction industry.
That's right, Danica. The construction industry here in Victoria has been shut down for the past 2 weeks. That was a decision that was made in response to a growing amount of coronavirus cases being linked to the industry and fears that non-compliance at work sites was driving that COVID transmission. We've heard from our Treasurer, Tim Pallas, today that 70,000 construction businesses will be able to receive one-off grants. This is part of a state government $196 million fund, and this is going to be for businesses right across Melbourne, Greater Geelong, the Surf Coast Shire and Mitchell Shire. Those eligible businesses, including sole traders, will need to have been impacted by the restrictions from the 21st of September to the 4th of October. We did hear, though, Tim Pallas take a swipe at the federal government for not matching this funding.
This is Victorian business, that this act of churlishness and, might I say, small-mindedness is going to hurt. This is their constituents.
The police have now moved away from this area. There was a significant police presence here over the last few hours, but it does look like all of those protesters have now moved on. Danica?
Good to hear, Julia. Thank you.